taken a break from refinishing, recolouring job that I'm doing that requires some downtime to dry, and we've been in discussion about the appearance of wooden sets generally and how to improve the appearance of them slightly, make them more acceptable for play or display, or possibly even getting a set ready to sell. And for example, you might have a Staunton pattern set with a nice shiny finish that really doesn't need any attention at all. Might be one or two pieces a bit dusty. What I would do in that case, I would just take some shoe polish, clear shoe polish, and a nice clean brush, and I would just apply a little bit of shoe polish, not very much, to the pieces, moving it round as you go, and then you just remove it with a clean paper towel, and that polishes up. And there is a St George pattern set that requires a little bit more, would look much better with just a bit slightly shiny finish. We don't want to take any of the patina off, or finger go as it's sometimes called by some people, but we just want it to look better. If a set's dirty, then cleaning is probably best left to the professionals, but if it just needs a nice shiny finish, something a little bit better, not real tight, but just a little bit shinier than the set it already is, then that's what you can do with that. And of course we come on to these sets, which are Régions pattern sets, and they come in various finishes. And one thing you often see with Régions sets is where the head of the knight is got some sort of varnish on it, and it's much shinier than the body, and that's quite normal and is correct for these sets. If I were going to refinish the knight's head, I would remove it from the body, and I would use either a shellac or probably even a polyurethane finish for that type of very hard shiny finish. It's not terribly common, but when you need it, you need it. Otherwise a shellac finish would give, for example on this piece, would give a better finish on that. The same thing, just apply it and rub it off. So you got, for example, this King and Queen, where they really do need, I mean it really does need a little bit of loving care and attention, and again we just can give it the shoe polish treatment. You can use a coloured shoe polish if it's required. So for example, you just put polish on. I would apply the polish to all the pieces, normally would leave them for a few minutes while you're doing the rest, and then we just shine it up a bit, and it does come up considerably improved. Just a nice finish. Now on the black side, where it's just fairly dull, then we can apply a black shoe polish obviously using a different brush, and it's the same thing, just a bit of black, and then we just apply it to the piece and give it a rub, and it comes up, you know, much improved. Where you've got a set that's French sets, Régions sets were nearly always in boxwood. Were nearly always in boxwood and stained or painted, and this one's been painted with a black spray paint, the so-called ebonising process. And what I would do with that, I would actually use a black auto paint. Here we are, just some black auto paint to spray on it, try and get a nice even finish, and that would prepare that, and it generally comes up fairly shiny. And the same applies to all the different Régions pattern sets. You just look for an appropriate finish. It's going to be either shellac, polyurethane, or the black auto finish. And then the French, of course, also play Ludo with knights, and so you might find you've got a Ludo set where the paint's coming off. Well, you just would find an appropriate colour paint to paint the heads, and then shellac it for a polished finish, if that's what you wanted. And of course, all this applies to boards as well. This is a Jakes board here, a stamped Jakes board, fairly modern, and it just hasn't quite got the kind of finish that I want. It's fairly dull. It's got a little bit of damage here that needs fixing first, but then I would sand it down very lightly just with a cheap palm sander, $5 or $10 from the local shop, and then I would spray this shellac finish on it to get a nice shiny but mellow looking finish on it. Thank you.